Welcome to the second groundbreaking of the Young Israel of West Hempstead. Most of us were not present at the first groundbreaking, and it's due to the dedication and determination of one individual, Dan Schachter, Olav HaShalom. On behalf of the entire community, we extend a warm welcome home to his family, who join with us in marking the expansion of Zichron Daniel David. I am sure I can share with all of you the deep sense of pride and fulfillment, as well as the special air of excitement and anticipation in witnessing this moment, the culmination of countless hours of dedicated hard work and deliberation by a very special group of individuals in our midst. I know I speak for all of you when I offer them a hearty and communal Yasher Koach. Through the years, there has been but one constant in West Hempstead. He has exuded the warmth that has kindled the spirit of our community. He was the first spiritual leader of our community. I'd like to ask Rabbi Meir Fendel, Dean of the Hebrew Academy of Nassau County, to begin today's ceremony with the invocation.
We approach this moment long awaited. We are miskalel that the dream and aspirations to build a house of prayer and Torah be fulfilled, and that this undertaking be truly blessed of the Lord. For we well know the stirring words of the psalmist in his injunction to mankind regarding all of man's endeavors. Im Hashem lo yivneh bayis, shav amlu bonav bo, Im Hashem lo yishmor ir, shov shokad shomer. Unless the Lord builds a house, they labor in vain that build it. Unless Hashem watches the city, in vain do the watchmen stand guard. As we have come to understand, the citadel is not protected by strong armed sentinels, but the spiritual strength of Torah study and by the fortress of piety and worship. If we have all the watchmen in the world, but godlessness reigns where godliness should be found, and ignorance is rampant where knowledge should be supreme, then Shov, Shokad, Shomer, in vain does the watchman take his guard. For no structure, be it the very temple of God, is immune to the disease of machlokas and divisiveness, which corrode and undermine even as they spread distrust and frustration. We pray that the house of prayer to be built here, merging from the yeshiva across the street, a Torah citadel where dwell the scribe and the scholar, will embody the twin virtues of Avas Torah and Avas Israel, so that we cultivate both reverence for God and His Word, and love and mutual regard for one another. May we stand as sentinels ever on guard, not against a breach in the walls, but against a breach in the principles of Torah. May our mortar be brotherly love and understanding, our bricks peace and friendship, piety, charity, loving kindness the cement, and the girders not of steel, but of Yerushalayim and Derech Eretz. Then, with our ethical structure firmly and solidly rooted in godliness, will come the strength of the physical structure, and the house will emerge under the leadership of our revered Mora Diaspora, Rabbi Yehuda Kellemer, which will truly be the base tefillah Yikorei L'Chol Ha'amin. Amen.
Young Israel and the Hebrew Academy of Nassau County, it's an honor to introduce the Honorable Thomas Galata, Hempstead Town Presiding Supervisor.
Rabbi David, Rabbi Pendel, my colleagues in government, members of the Congregation of Young Israel. It is a privilege and a pleasure to be able to join with each of you this morning on what is a very, very special occasion. Any home or institution of religious learning consists of brick and mortar. But brick and mortar, with time, has a tendency to wear, disintegrate, and fall apart. The true meaning of any institution of religious learning and of this new synagogue will be, yes, the meaning taken on by its religious leadership through rabbis, but equally as important, the good works of the members of the congregation. Because in a very real sense, the true worth of any institution of religious learning depends upon the members of the congregation and their efforts within the synagogue and throughout the community. Young Israel has served as a beacon of light in the West Hempstead community for many years. We need but look about us today to see the many young people who are here to join in this most meaningful and solemn occasion. The future of any culture and of any society and of any heritage depends upon its young. And being able to instill in those young that pride of heritage, that pride of culture, that pride of background, so that from generation to generation, that sense of dignity and that sense of pride will continue on. And while brick and mortar may crumble, the efforts through this synagogue in providing a fountain of knowledge and of spiritual guidance and leadership will help to mold the minds of these young people. And through those efforts, through helping to mold minds, the true meaning of this synagogue will live on for generation to generation. I know that we all join in prayer this morning that this new synagogue should serve as a fountain of light, as a source of knowledge, as a source of great pride and culture and heritage. God's blessings are truly with us today. Yes, in the form of the weather, but even more so with the dedication of this institution of religious learning. I join and take great honor in joining with each of you here on this very special occasion to pay tribute, yes, to young Israel, but even more importantly, to each of you and to the future of our society. And for all of the pessimism, all of the criticism that we may hear about our young on a daily basis, we need but look about us and recognize the fact that the future of this society is bright indeed, and that we can be optimistic about the future of this society for generations to come. Thank you for letting me participate in the program with you. God bless all of you. Mazel tov. L'chaim.
I would like now to acknowledge the presence of two members of our government who have taken the time out of their busy schedule to show their support for our community and for this undertaking. I'd like to ask to take a bow our community's representative in the New York State Assembly, Mr. George Madison, and Mr. Joseph Cairo, Town of Hempstead Councilman. Under the direction of Mark and Aaron Waxpress, with the accompaniment of Stephen Antasovsky and David Rubin, the Young Israel of West Hempstead Children's Choir will now provide us with a short musical interlude.
What, baby?
Go higher. derived from its Executive Vice President, Rabbi Ephraim Stern.
Chairman, President, members of the dais, fellow young Israelites and friends, I feel like I'm almost a member of the family here. I recall the very, very first time we met many, many moons ago when we planned the first Young Israel of West Hempstead in a little house at some morning breakfast. Some of you may still remember that time. Since then, we've come quite a long way. I was at the installation of your Rabbi's 11 Gesundheim and at many of your other functions. And so we feel very close and very warm to the Young Israel of West Hempstead as we are to the other branches of the vast Young Israel movement. When I came here, I saw so many of your wonderful people, realized that every one of them was virtually a pillar of the synagogue. And then I said, now I know why you need a new synagogue. Every seat's behind a pillar. But I think I better stop there. It's not going to get any better. Seriously, though, I often marvel how intelligent businessmen, men of profound knowledge in the world of commerce and industry, can be so unsophisticated and so naive when it comes to building a city. You know that it really can't be done. All logic tells you that you cannot build a city. You're underfinanced, you're heavily mortgaged, there's not nearly enough people, the pressures of your children's education is mounting, you look forward to all the expenses that we're going to have, and you say to yourself, logically, would I build my business on such a flimsy structure? You know, that's not a new question. That question dates back to the very first Mishkan in the desert, when Bezalel, the master architect of the Jewish people, put together this Mishkan with the blueprints given to him by Moses himself. He came to his revered leader and he said, Moshe, no man can make this tabernacle stand. It's just not possible. It defies every law of building. Moshe carefully examined the blueprints, he examined the finished walls, because it was a prefabricated structure, and he turned to God and he said, L'Bonei Shalom, Bezalel is right. No one can make a synagogue stand. And God, so to speak, smiled down on him and said, Moshe, put your hand to it, and it will arise by itself. And then Moses put his hands to those walls, and it says, Yom Hukam HaMishkan, the day the Mishkan arose by itself. In truth, that miracle has not stopped functioning. When God in all his wisdom sees that we in sincerity and integrity and in honesty want to build a Mikdash Riyat, a minor sanctuary, when we want to build a Mishkan, when we want to build a synagogue, when we want to build our tabernacle, then all laws of engineering and all laws of construction and yea, all laws of finances go by the boards. Because God says, show me that you want it, tell me that you're going to put your hand and your shoulder to it, and it will arise by itself. You've seen it happen from that first day when we met for breakfast. You've seen it happen in this building, you've seen it happen in that building, and you will see the same thing happen here. Because you want it, so shall it be. And as you went from one to the other, you'll continue to go Mechayel El Koyo until you join all of Klal Yisrael in building the third and everlasting face of the bush.
Now, another has been waiting for. Our next speaker has made many of his family fill with pride over his many and important accomplishments. On this day, however, we are particularly proud, for it was under his leadership and direction that we have come to this point. Our President, Martin Schiowitz. Harav, distinguished Rabbanim, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset, I'd like to express my thanks to our chairman, Reverend Schiowitz, and his hard-working Groundbreaking committee for making this ceremony a memorable event for all of us. I'd also like to thank our building committee, its chairman Leon Gross and Stephen Lazar, and all the members of the building committee and building committees that predated this building committee for bringing us to this point today. The Young Israel of West Hempstead is particularly delighted to welcome the family of Dan Shakta of El Shalom, his wife Natalie, and children Stephen and Shira Shakta, and Jessica and Alan Gribbets, as well as his brother Ralph Shakta and his lovely wife, to this joyous occasion. Our membership has multiplied more than 6 times since Dan Shakta presided as president at the Young Israel of West Hempstead's first groundbreaking almost 20 years ago. Many of us, myself included, never had the privilege of personally knowing him. However, what we know of him is that his force of personality and leadership qualities, as well as his sincere and unabiding dedication to the West Hempstead Jewish community, were characteristics of Dan Shakta that have become legendary. His commitment to Yiddishkeit was the source which powered his everyday existence. It was mainly through his efforts that our present structure was realized, and through that, our spectacular growth. This shul is a living memorial and testament to Daniel David Shakta, what he built, what it continues to be, and what it will be in the future. It is a special zchus to his family that, like our present building, the word Sifron Daniel David will grace the entrance of our newer and larger structure to be built on this land. So I'm happy, and I share this happiness with everyone here who knew him and knew of him, that the Shakta family can once again join us in our groundbreaking ceremony and share with us in our happiness. My friends, this is a proud day for us. It symbolizes a step up in the quality of Jewish life in our community. We are proud of what we have accomplished, of what we sacrificed to reach this point. For many of us, the thought that construction of our new shul would start within the next few weeks is an idea difficult to believe. The feeling is unreal. It's been 9 years of talking about a new building, planning, debating, and voting that some people never thought this day would ever come. But just like a newborn baby born after a 9-month gestation, what is being born today after 9 years is unique, precious, and unmistakably had the hand of the Almighty guiding us throughout. You ask, what will our new shul be like? Simply answered, it will finally provide the basic facilities needed to serve a kehillah of our size. It will house one of the largest and most beautiful sanctuaries